What's shaking, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Shay, and today we are going to start this July reading vlog in which I play Bookopoly. I'm super excited about this. This is a game that I play sometimes with my online book club. I haven't played it in a couple of years, so I'm looking forward to getting it back in. I have played Becca's Bookopoly before, which is off the channel Becca and the Books, which has always been a blast, but I haven't played in a couple years, so I'm looking forward to getting back into Bookopoly. So without further ado, here is my first roll. I have my purple and my green dice. I have my little token, and we are going to roll. Okay, that is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is to read a fantasy book, which is definitely something I can do. So I landed on fantasy, which is fantastic because I've been trying to get back into fantasy. If you don't know, I've been kind of in a fantasy slump a little bit, and that's because I've had a lot going on, and mentally, like, if you're not focused to be able to get into fantasy, it's very difficult to read it. So I don't remember what month I read this, and I don't know if I've even talked about it on my channel, but I did read or start the series The Wolf of Orenyaro by K.S. Vioso. I think I said that right. I'm not quite sure, but I did start this book and start the series, and I absolutely the first book really hit me by surprise, and I was wondering, like, why aren't more people shouting and reading this book? This is a lovely broken binding edition. It's still got the little bookmark in it. It is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Just saying, gorgeous copy. So I'm really glad I liked it because I have this beautiful copy. But this basically follows this used to be called The Chronicles of the Bitch Queen. I think it was self-published, and then when it got traditionally published, they changed it to The Chronicles of the Wolf Queen. So this is basically following our queen. She has an arranged marriage with a rival clan in order to provide peace for their lands, and before they are crowned queen, the night before she is crowned queen and basically him king, he up and leaves. So they already have a 2-year-old son. I think he's 2 at the time. And he up and leaves without warning, without explanation. He just goes away. And of course she is crowned queen without him. And she is devastated because she's learned to love him. And she wants to know, why did he leave? So then we're 5 years in the future. So he's been gone for 5 years, hasn't seen their son, hasn't seen her. They haven't had any communication in 5 years. And she gets this letter from him saying, meet me here in this kingdom that she doesn't know, and let's talk. And so she goes to this unknown kingdom, even though everybody's trying to tell her don't go. And there are lots of things afoot. There's assassination attempts, etc. She's just trying to figure out why her husband has left her and her son. And I really enjoyed what was going on in here. I enjoyed the characters. So when I landed on the fantasy spot, because I'm trying to continue with series sooner, that's one of my goals, I absolutely positively took the shot to read The Icosar Falcon by K.S. Vioso. So this is the second book in the series. Again, another stunning edition by the Broken Binding. Still have the little bookmark in here, and a stunning hardcover. Okay, so we are, of course, I can't say much about this, but we are continuing on with the story, still loving the characters. Look at how chunky this book is, though. I haven't read, I feel like, a chunky fantasy in some time, so I'm super excited. I will say that because I haven't had a chance to update in this vlog or start this vlog as of yet, I am 90% into this book. So I am actually almost done, which is crazy. But I will say there were parts in this second book that dragged. I think a lot of times we have middle book syndrome in a lot of different series, so I don't think that this one is any exception. So there are some draggy parts, but there's also a lot of action. I will say that there are a lot of different characters in this book,
and some of the conflicts that are explained in this book can sometimes get convoluted because it's difficult to reconcile all the names in my head. And what I mean by that is like the different past kings, the different war names, the different all of the things about the history can sometimes get me really confused. But I don't think it dragged away from the story because overall I completely understood the story, completely loved the story, and I only have 10% left of this book, and at this point it's going to be a 4-star read. It's interesting. This book, I wouldn't call these books fantasy romance. This is definitely more fantasy leaning, but I will say that there are romance elements in the story. So take it or leave it. Some people like just strict fantasy with no romance. There is some romance in the story, but the fantasy definitely is the main part of this one. So I also will use this for Herkiad. I decided to do Herkiad again this year, and I didn't do Herkiad last year. I started it and then I didn't complete it because I got into a slump and I just stopped reading altogether. But I want to try to do Herkiad again. So if you don't know what Herkiad is, it is the hardest reading challenge you will ever do, and it is a challenge created by Wordy. I don't know how you say her name on on the YouTube, but I will link her channel down below if you want to get into the action. It's a year-long readathon that starts this month in July, and you have like your regular challenges, bingo boards that you're trying to fill, and you also have like separate side quests that she's put out for once a month. And the one for July is to read a teal book cover, and you can get like something special for that, like a secret special thing that you can just get something special for that. And I haven't looked up exactly what I can get for that. I think it's like switching a prompt so you can fill your bingo board faster, and you don't have to do like a specific prompt. So this is kind of a tealish cover, if you can see. So I am going to be using that for this. As far as Herkiad goes, I'll kind of fill you in of what I utilize this for in Herkiad by like the end of the month, but I don't know what I'm going to utilize it for right this moment. But I'm excited to have this read and finally getting back into fantasy. So I'll catch you guys when I finish this book and when it's time to do my next roll. Okay, so I have finally finished the Ixar Falcon by KSVSO. I ended up really loving this. The ending just ripped my heart out, which is fantastic. That's what we like to hear. And I hear book 3 is going to rip my heart out even more. So looking forward to continuing on with the series sometime in the near future. But it is time for roll 2. Here we go, we're rolling again. And we have another 9. I feel like I just rolled a 9 and we're 9ing again. So, okay. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we are going to read a sci-fi. Fantastic. So for roll 2, I rolled a 9 again, and we're skipping the palette cleanser romance, and we are going right into a sci-fi. So as my dog is barking, and I'm sorry that y'all can hear that, but we're going right into a sci-fi. And again, goals here, owned books or finishing books in a series. And the only sci-fi series that I have ongoing currently is the series that is by Rob J. Hayes. It starts with Titan Hoppers, and it is the Titan Hoppers series, which I gave the first book 5 stars. I think I gave the second book 4 stars. And I am ready to continue on because I do own Fleet Champions on audio, which is the next book in that series. So looking forward to continuing on. This is like the push I needed to continue on with this series, because if I think about it, I don't necessarily remember every single detail that happened in book 1 and 2, which kind of hinders me sometimes to continue on with series. I'm like, oh, I don't remember what happened with the last one, so I really don't, like, it's not a priority to continue on. But I feel like once I start reading the third one, that like things will start clicking together in my brain. That's my hope anyway. So I will be reading Fleet Champions by Rob J. Hayes for this sci-fi prompt. Excuse the way that I am looking. I have been cleaning all day, so I am looking a little crazy. But I have come to check in that I have finished Fleet Champions, and it took me, I didn't like check in midway through because I feel like I was either reading this book on my commute or I listened to it while I was cleaning, and I just didn't have any time to stop and update because we are still cleaning our old house in order to put it up for sale, which we really need to do relatively soon. My thoughts on this, I was correct. I went back and looked where I had read the second book in the series, and it was over a year ago. It was in February 2025. So it being now well over a year since I read that one, I did actually remember a lot more than I thought I would. I will say that the first 60% of this book kind of dragged for me, but then the last 40% was absolutely positively epic, and I gave it 4 stars because of that. But this book starts with the Titan Hoppers, which is basically following these different, Earth has of course died, deceased, and everybody is on these kind of old floating ships to survive. And there are poor ships, there are rich ships, and there are these huge Titan ships that are discoverable that actually they have separate people on their ships called hoppers that have these special talents to hop to these big ships to get supplies in order for their ships to survive so that they can replace parts, all of the things, get medical supplies, whatever they need from these huge Titans. And in the first book, we are following our main male character really is born with no powers, and suddenly he develops powers and actually gets to hop over into the Titans, and it just starts the journey of how a poor, like bottom of the barrel class ship, he rises to the top. Really enjoyed his journey, and in books 1 and book 2 there's enemies in here, and so you get to know the world building, and then you get to like different battles, different fights upon this enemy that they have. And in book 3, the first 60% is kind of like a competition trial thing that, while it's interesting, it went into a lot of description in how the training for this trials and competition, so there wasn't a lot happening there. And I like more of the let's fight the enemies kind of thing. Not that they weren't going into these trials and competitions with some of their enemies, but still the last 40% though made up for that. I really, really enjoyed it. And even though this is considered a YA series, I don't think it reads as YA as definitely a lot of other series that I have read. To me, there's nothing really YA about this series except for the ages of the characters. But highly recommend. This is the 3rd book in a planned 6-book series, and the 4th book is out. So I will be able to continue on relatively soon if I wish to. But that leads me to roll number 3. And now I'm gonna roll for book number 3 and hope to not get a 9, because I've gotten a 9 both times that I've rolled. So we are going to... Oh my God. This is my 3rd 9 in a row. I'm agitated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got a thriller. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yes, thriller it is. I cannot believe I got another 9. That's the 3rd 9 in the row. I cannot believe. So I got thriller, and trying to hit my goals this year, I want to read own books or continue in series. And the 2 books that I own physically for thrillers, or not even physically, just any audiobook, whatever, I actually could not find the audiobook for, but I am not bending the rules for this because the rules state that as long as it's on the main page as like one of the genres on Goodreads, like we can use it. And so I've been wanting to read this book for some time, and it completes a series for me, and that is going to be Murder on Hunter's Eve by Morgan Stang. This is an independent series. This is book number 3 in the series. This series is so wonderful. I laugh in it. I am shocked at the mystery and the suspense in it. I love this series. And the first series actually won SPITBO, which is a self-published fantasy blog off one year, and that is Murder at Spindle Manor, which I fell in love with, and this is the 3rd book in the series, and I cannot wait to dive in We, again, lots of humor, lots of mystery, and it has me giggling. The characters are wonderful in here. It's action-packed. I love it, and it has a supernatural element to it, so I'm really excited to dive into this and complete this series. Okay, so I have now actually finished Murder on Hunter's Eve by Morgenstern, and I am telling you guys, y'all are sleeping on this series. It is so good. So good. The mystery in here are great. The twist in here I did not see coming, and we all love it when I don't see a twist coming. So this is the third book in the series. It appears by the ending of this that there will be more, and this is a series that I can get down with and continue to read because it doesn't feel repetitive. This series starts with Murder at Spindle Manor, and then the second book is Murder on the Lamplight Express. So just throwing this out here, here is the premise of the first one. So basically we are following our monster hunter, Isabel, and she is tracking down this monster who happens to be at Spindle Manor. She has tracked it down to Spindle Manor. The problem is there are 10 guests that have checked into Spindle Manor. All appear to be human and not monster, so she has to figure out which one is actually hiding as the monster. And I'm telling you, it is so good. I will definitely read more of Morgenstern. He has some other fantasy works that I want to read, but this series is just really spectacular, and I cannot believe honestly that these are not like traditionally published. So 100%, I'm telling you, if you like mystery, this is like steampunky, gas lamp, like found family, these fantastic mysteries, read it. So Murder at Spindle Manor, Murder on the Lamplight Express, and Murder on Hunter's Eve. All right, so I've read 3 books. I have continued on in series that has been very great for me. 2 series, this one and the one by Rob DeHaze, I haven't continued on in so long, and I feel so accomplished that I have done so, and also caught up with this series. So I'm gonna end this vlog here and tune in next week to see me continue to play Bookopoly and have just a grand, wonderful time. I will catch you guys in the next one.